All right, you hot little fucking piece of ass. Yes, you. I am talking specifically about you. You're a hot little piece of ass. You're an absolutely intelligent, legendary, wonderful human being. I just thought I would let you know that. So, I did a video recently called What is Your Body Count Lay Count? And in this, I talked about how it can be very easy to fall into this trap of judging yourself compared to other people, saying that you haven't had enough sex, or maybe you've had too much sex, particularly if you're a woman, blah, blah, blah. Comparing yourself to other people makes you miserable. Comparison is the thief of joy. And we got a few comments on that video. Like this one here from EMAP Me, which I believe was the person that I did the video for in the first place. Thank you for the thorough response. Just wondering though, what do we do about the comparisons that we can't avoid? For instance, seeing a guy dating a girl who's hotter than any girl you've ever dated when you're at the gym, for example. Stuff like that tends to make me feel really jealous and miserable. So, my beautiful friend, I want to tell you something that if you can really wrap your head around this, holy shit, the rest of your life will be very, 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 very peaceful. For the most part, emotions are not bad. Feelings are not bad. Right now, I don't know if you know this, but there is a little part of you, there's an implication in this question that feeling jealous and miserable would be a bad thing. You're saying it's a bad thing. I don't want to feel those things. No, your feelings are trying to teach you something. I talk about this a ton in the Play to Win video course. That feeling of jealousy right now, you are saying is a bad thing. You're like, I feel jealous and that's bad. I feel miserable and that's bad. Andy, of course that shit's bad. It feels bad, therefore it must be bad. No, 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 no. What if your jealousy is the motivation for you to improve yourself? What if that jealousy is a little fire that you can light under your own ass and say, okay, this guy who's with a very attractive girl, what a beautiful opportunity. I can use this for inspiration for me to go and date someone that's the type of person that I want to date. That might be someone that's attractive. It might be someone that's really cool, blah, blah, blah. I'm going to use this as positive fuel. Instead of seeing jealousy as a bad thing, realize jealousy is one step away from taking action. Use the jealousy and go, all right, I'm going to use this to improve myself. Or I'm going to use this feeling of jealousy as a beautiful chance to let go and compare myself to other people just a little bit less. You sort of said here, what do we do about the comparisons that we can't avoid? Yeah, it's not so much about avoiding them, but it's realizing that you can, I'm telling you this, you can get to a point where you just don't compare yourself to anyone else. You compare yourself maybe to the past version of yourself and you say, have I made progress? If I feel I have, then beautiful, I'm happy. And maybe you compare, it's not even comparing. You use the person that you know you're going to become or that you're working towards becoming, you use that person as inspiration. So yes, at some point you stop even playing the comparison game at all. You don't compare yourself to anyone. You just look at what someone else has done and you say, I would like to do what they've done. Cool. What can I learn from them? But you're not like comparing yourself in that sort of judgmental way of like, they're better than me or I'm better than them. Either shame of not being good enough compared to them or pride of being better than them in your own mind. So yes, eventually at some point you get to a point where you're not comparing at all. But I understand what your question is. It's like, dude, sometimes the feelings just come up. Yes, they fucking do. And nothing that I have ever said is me telling all of you to suppress your emotions, to just not have emotions. No, my friend, emotions come up. So what we do is we use those emotions as a good thing. In my Play to Win video course, I have a chapter. This chapter right here, it's called Everything That Happens to Me is Good. And I talk about any feelings or emotions that you might have, like jealousy or feeling miserable. That can be a good thing. Every problem is an opportunity in disguise. So you can use that feeling, that negative feeling or that insecurity and say, okay, how can I use this to win? How can I make this a good thing? How can I make my life better because I'm feeling this insecurity or this jealousy? And all jealousy, by the way, is insecurity. So I did this video on my channel, earlier this year called Jealous/Insecure, How to Fix It for Good. And in this video, I talk about how all jealousy is really you just being insecure about who you are as a person or what you have in your life or how you are or any of that. And that's beautiful news because you can improve that. So if you're feeling jealous, which, you said you're feeling jealous, you see a hot guy or a hot girl together and you feel a bit jealous, use that as inspiration. It's that you're not happy in yourself. So there's two pathways to be more happy with yourself. The first one is obviously improve yourself. Work on your appearance, work on your confidence, all of that stuff. Keep improving. Go talk to more women. Eventually, you will date someone that's very attractive and what you're looking for. You go, wow, I did it. So that's one pathway. The other pathway is self-love and sort of letting go of this pain and this story that you carry around saying that you're not good enough because you don't have something in your life. There'll always be something in your life that you don't have. Could be a hot girlfriend, could be tons of money, could be fame, could be fortune, could be your health, could be a billion things, freedom, free time, energy, good sleep. There'll always be something that you're feeling like you're missing out on if you keep looking at other people and comparing yourself to them. And so what helps solve that is going, you know what, maybe I'm okay as I am right now. And all I'm working on is just having a little bit more in the future. But I can be happy with what I have right now, and I'll just have a bit more in the future. I've done tons of videos on this. This video is the one I would start with. It's called How to Be Grateful for the Little Things, featuring a homeless man. And I talk about a lot of the things in my own life that I sort of have taken for granted sometimes. And we don't need to beat ourselves up for that. You don't need to feel guilty. But it's worth taking a bit of time and going, you know what? I do have a lot of things in my life right now that make me really happy. A lot of beautiful things in my life. I'm a great person myself. Like I'm not saying me, Andy, but I'm saying you say that to yourself. You say, I am a great person myself. I'm doing a good job. I'm doing the best I can. I'm going to be grateful for what I have and who I am and all of that. And I'll be happy while I work on getting that hot girlfriend or improving myself or whatever it might be. And then I would absolutely check out this video. It's called Change Your Thoughts, Change the World. That is also on my YouTube channel, obviously. And I talk about how to be happy with what you have, how to learn to love yourself and all of that stuff. So the two main pathways, again, for how you work through jealousy or insecurity is you work on improving yourself and you just do the thing that the other person has done, like follow the steps and you will probably get the same result or similar. And then you work on your self-love and letting go and being happy with what you have while also in the future working towards having a little bit more. So yeah, again, to be very clear, you don't have to beat yourself up if you find yourself comparing yourself to other people. That's a good thing. It could be a beautiful thing. I never said it was a bad thing. I just said it sometimes robs us of joy, but we can use it as a beautiful thing. We can use it as motivation to improve ourselves. You know, when you're feeling miserable, you'll be very tempted to say, I feel miserable, bro. That's a bad thing. Is it? When you're feeling miserable, that is a beautiful opportunity. Again, every problem is an opportunity in disguise. It's an opportunity for you to reach out to us in this community, like you have here by making this post. Now I get to do a video, and other people might be inspired by this. And so you feeling miserable and you feeling jealous might be you going through something and feeling a bit of pain and growing and all of that so that you help all of us. Like you might be suffering a little bit so that the rest of us and yourself, obviously, can improve and learn and grow. And so thank you, my friend. Thank you for feeling miserable. I appreciate that. That's a beautiful gift that you're giving all of us. We're learning from it. You're learning from it too. You're giving yourself a beautiful gift. Hey, when I'm feeling miserable, I can reach out to other people and they will be there for me. You're teaching yourself to connect to the rest of humanity. And so again, what you've just said is a bad thing, or you've assumed it's a bad thing, which most of us do, don't we? We label certain emotions as bad and we say, they're bad, I hate feeling them, I got to avoid them at all costs. No, there's healing there. There's something you can learn. You've learned, or you're learning, when I'm miserable, I can reach out to other people. When I'm miserable, I can ask for help. When I'm miserable, my miserableness might even fucking inspire other people to be more courageous and open. Like, look at you, bro, being an absolute courageous warrior by sharing this with us. You've opened up about your jealousy and your insecurity. Most people don't fucking open up about that shit, especially not with strangers on the internet. And you've been fucking brave as hell. And so that jealousy and that miserable feeling is teaching you something. It's teaching you to be brave. When you feel those feelings, use those for good to go and be brave. And so, yeah, bro, like feeling jealous and miserable doesn't have to be a bad thing. But I fucking love this question. I love how brave and courageous you're being. Yeah, feel jealous and miserable. You can't control those things. What you can control is what you do with those things. And so to be very clear, nothing I've ever said on my channel is me saying don't feel emotions. Stop feeling jealous. Don't feel miserable. Stop comparing yourself to others. No, it's in those moments when you find yourself comparing to others, because that's a habit that you've built, then you choose to let go of the comparison, or you choose to take some action to move towards what that other person has, or you choose to write down some things about yourself that are likable, or you choose to focus on gratitude, or you choose to give to others and help others. Helping others makes you feel really good in yourself. Like you choose any of these techniques. And so You might compare yourself sometimes. You might feel jealous. You might feel insecure. You might feel rejected. You might feel disappointed. You might feel hurt. You might cry. You might break down. You might have a miserable week, all of that. But you get to choose what you do with that. You get to choose what actions you take next. And so it is not so much controlling emotions. I still feel emotions. I feel emotions all the time. Today I'm tired. That's an emotion I'm feeling really strongly. But I get to choose to sit here in front of you and do this video anyway. Or I get to choose to reach out to a friend if I'm feeling sad. Like, to be clear, I feel sad sometimes. Nowhere near what I used to. Now I feel sad probably, I don't know, once a month, once every 2 months. I feel angry once every 3 months. But when it happens, I know to reach out to other people and say, hey, I'm feeling a bit of anger today. Do you mind if I talk through it? Or I put on some music, or I do some meditating, or I go for a walk, or I hang out with my friends, or I just take the day off and chill a little bit. Any number of different things, but it's not so much about controlling emotions, because you can't. You didn't choose to feel jealous, did you? No. You didn't choose to feel miserable. Who would choose to feel miserable? No one. You didn't choose to compare yourself to other people. And so these things automatically happen on their own accord. But what we get to do is choose how we react. So, yeah, bro, you're doing a really good job. I appreciate you reaching out. You're an absolute legend of a human being for being this courageous. Just keep going. And obviously, if you want more help with this, I'm happy to jump on a $200 call with you. You're very welcome to come to the coaching program. But keep being you, my man. You're being incredibly brave. And by the way, you're all pretty freaking brave for even just being here, for even being on a self-improvement channel and starting to dedicate yourself towards improving and taking responsibility and taking action and taking ownership of your life. That's incredibly brave. That's really, really, really brave. It's very easy to be the victim and to say, life just happens to me. It's not fair. How come that guy gets a hot girl and I don't? It's so fucking tempting to be a victim because then you don't have to change. It's very comfortable being a victim. I talked about this in a recent video. This video here called My Brain Secretly Hates Peace and Happiness. Does yours? And I talked about how it's very comforting being the victim because you don't have to change. You don't have to embrace discomfort. You don't have to do something that's out of your comfort zone and risk being rejected or risk being hurt or risk being sad or risk being disappointed or risk sucking. Like most things that you start, you're going to suck at the start. So yeah, our brains kind of avoid taking action. And so all of you, by just being here, by virtue of you listening to me right now, you're on the pathway to a better life, a happier life, whatever you want to call it. You're on the right path. Just keep going. And so on that same video, again, where I talked about how a lot of people, and myself included, my old self, obsess about how many people have you slept with? You know, either I haven't slept with enough or I've slept with too many. And so this guy here, Expert Cheek Clapper, who is one of the OGs of the channel, he's been here for quite a while now. Despite the username, my body count, and that term always weirds me out, is 3. Yeah, body count, because that's what like serial killers use that word. Of course it weirds you out. It weirds me out too, bro, for the exact same reason. That's why I don't really use it. But I understand that the kids use it, and so I use it sometimes too. I sound like a boomer. It's 3. So he slept with 3 people. It's a number and that's it. Beautiful. I spent way too much time in the past worrying about it. Not anymore. Yeah, and part of the reason, I've said this in so much content, part of the reason why it's arbitrary is, let's get a little autistic about this for a second. Let's say all you care about is your body count or your lay count or how many people you've slept with, right? Let's say you had $10,000, which, yeah, I know some of you won't have that money right now, but if you were so fucking obsessed with a lay count or a body count, you could go and get a $10,000 bank loan. You get a personal loan. You don't need any collateral. You just have to not have like the world's worst credit history. There are so many people that will give you $10,000, or a credit card company will give you $10,000. I've taken out plenty of bank loans, you know, to build the business. In the first couple of years, I did that. And so let's say you get $10,000. You could then go and pay an escort, like a very cheap escort, let's say $150. Let's go crazy and we'll splurge $200 per escort for an hour of sex. With your $10,000, let me see if I can do the maths right here. You could go to 50 different escorts. You would then, for only $10,000, which, yes, I know to some of you is a lot of money, but you could just borrow the fucking money and pay it off over the next 15 years. You could sleep with 50 people. Your body count or your lay count would be 50. Now, I say that to a lot of you. You'll hear that and go, yeah, but that's ridiculous. I don't want to do that. Why? Why? If body count is so important, Why don't you want to just solve that problem, the problem that you've invented, and go and sleep with 50 new people? Why? And you go, well, because that wouldn't count. It would be cheating. And it's like, so you care about more than just the number. And then your brain goes, wait, yeah, what do I care about? Well, I wouldn't want to cheat. I want to put in some effort. Yeah, you want to improve. You want to feel like you did something. If you just go and pay $200, and some people do that, brilliant, beautiful, if that's what you want to do. But for some people, that isn't meaningful to them. Because in their mind, they're like, that would be like entering cheat codes into a video game. It ruins all the fun. If there's no challenge, if there's no adversity for me to overcome, really the only adversity is your own self-improvement. If I don't need to do anything, I just enter the cheat codes and turn on God mode. That's not fun. Like, I wouldn't enjoy that. And again, some people like seeing escorts and paying for sex. Brilliant, beautiful, do that. But if that isn't fun for you, then you care about something deeper. You care about the self-improvement journey and what you might have to overcome, and the almost self-therapy that you will need to do in order to become someone that could sleep with 50 different people. You might not want to sleep with 50. It's just a number that I pulled out of my ass. But let's say you want to sleep with 10 new people. Yeah, you're probably going to have to do some therapy with yourself. The self-improvement journey will make you do therapy on yourself because your insecurities will come out. You'll have to face possible rejection. You'll have to deal with the fact that not every other human being on the planet wants to give you what you want. Not every woman wants to sleep with you, bro. Like, that's an obvious statement. But until we go out there and actually have a woman say to our face, no, thank you, but I hope you have a nice day. And then you feel that, you go, fuck. Is this what rejection feels like? Yeah, it doesn't have to feel like that. But that's what a lot of guys feel like when a woman says no to them. A lot of women feel the same thing when a guy says, no, thank you. I appreciate that, but I'm not interested. Lots of women feel fucking heartbroken. And so this process of self-improvement, this process of getting to a point where you can sleep with 10 people that you met off the street or on a dating app or something, requires something of you. It asks something of you. It asks you to improve yourself. And so all of you care more about just the number. Again, if you only cared about the number, you'd just go and borrow $10,000 and sleep with 50 people. You do it for way cheaper than that. You'd go to you go to a third world country or something, and yeah, we're gonna have a discussion about like sex trade and all of that. So like, do your own research and shit like that. Try and be ethical. But there's plenty of countries where they don't have a lot of money. It would cost a lot less to sleep with 50 people, blah, 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 blah. And so the point is, you care about something deeper than just the lay count. And you can also go the other way and think about this. What you're probably trying to get out of having a lot of sex, like all of you, is some feeling of accomplishment. You're probably trying to prove to yourself, and maybe you care about other people as well, like what they think of you. You're trying to prove to yourself and others that you're worthy, whatever the word worthy means to you. It's an arbitrary positionality that we just make up. We just declare something. Yeah, if I slept with 50 people, then I'd be worthy. It's just something we made up, but fine. You're probably trying to prove to yourself and others that you're worthy, that you're deserving, that you're good enough, that you deserve love, or you deserve sex, or you're a masculine man or something, some arbitrary definition. Trying to prove that. You could prove that without going and having a whole lot of sex. Like, if you want to feel like a masculine man who can accomplish things, go climb Mount fucking Everest. That would be a pretty good way to prove that to yourself and other people. Or go to the gym for 2 years and build an elite body and then go on stage and be in a bodybuilding competition. Probably take more than 2 years, but like, go do something like that. Go to the fucking Olympics or something. You don't even have to dream that big. Go be really good at a sport and mentor other people and help them change their life. Go do something that's meaningful to you. Yes, you can have sex. Sex could be one of those things, but my point is you probably care about something deeper than just sleeping with 10 women or 50 women. That's almost like an expression of the deeper thing that you actually care about. And so one of the things I do a lot in my coaching program, if someone comes to me and I say, what are your goals? If they say, I want to sleep with 20 women, like if that's all they tell me, they're just like, I want to bang 20 women. I'm like, why? And then they go, oh, I don't know. I want to sleep with 20 people. No, why? And then they think about it for a bit and they're like, look, all my life, I've just felt like a loser. I got bullied at school. I was a virgin till I was like 25. I've always felt like I'm not good enough. And I feel like I'm missing out on something that everybody else has. And it's like, okay, that's a pretty deep reason. That's something quite beautiful. So you're missing out. Sex is one of the things you feel you're missing out on. What else do you feel like you're missing out on? Well, I've never really had a great social life. Okay, there we go. That's something else. What else do you feel like you're missing out on? I've always just done what I was supposed to do. I think that's part of the reason why I didn't have sex is because I didn't want to be creepy or something. I thought I had to be a good little boy who just shut the fuck up and didn't ever hit on women. And I thought that was wrong. Like, you shouldn't hit on women. It's harassing them, even if you're polite and kind and nice. And even if they fucking want you to. And even if you ask consent and all of that is still bad. And so I always, all my life, just did what I was told. And I think that led to a lot of depression. I think I might be slightly depressed because I've always just done what I was supposed to do. And it's like, okay, so what you really care about is living a life that's a little more true to you and being a little bit more of the person that you want to be. Is that right? Am I hearing that right? And they go, yeah, man, that's what I want. Okay. So do you really care about sleeping with 50 women? If you do, great, we'll do that. But is that just part of this? And they go, yeah, like I think I do want to sleep with a lot of women, but I think it's that deeper shit. Okay, that deeper shit is what we're going to work on. And you are going to, as a consequence of working on that, sleep with as many women as you want to. That will just happen. You'll sleep with a bunch of people. What usually happens is they sleep with a few people and they find someone they really like and they build something, and maybe they keep it open, maybe they do monogamy, but yeah, that's what usually happens. It's that deeper shit that we're seeking. It's not just a fucking body count. It's not a number. For God's sakes, if it was a number, you'd go get the fucking number. You'd just spend 3 months working on this. You'd save up 10 grand or take a bank loan. You'd go get that number. You'd be like, cool, I have a number. Great. You care about more than the number. You care what you think the number represents for you. And so be more honest and direct about that. Figure out what that is for you. Maybe it's, I always felt like a loser and I want to prove myself to myself and other people. Maybe it's, I feel like I just want to accomplish something in this life. I don't want to get to the end of it. I feel like I didn't get out of my comfort zone. Brilliant. Maybe it's, I just really love women, man, and I've never understood how they work and they've always scared me, and I think I just want to figure women out. Beautiful. What a fucking great statement. I want to connect to the opposite gender. I want to connect to people. Eventually you come to see that women are not even like the opposite. They're just human beings. But yeah, what a beautiful fucking goal. And so figure out what those deeper things are. Be more honest with yourself about those things. You probably just never thought about it. You probably just thought, I want a high body count, or I want a ton of money in my bank account. And that's another one that people fall into, don't they? They're like, I just want to be a millionaire. Why? I don't know. Then I'd have power and money. It's like, come on, like, what are the deeper reasons? Well, I've always felt like I just was a loser and I could never make money, and I had this limiting belief that I could never be someone who's rich. And so I think I want to prove myself wrong, to prove to myself and maybe other people that limiting beliefs don't have to be true. That is why I, Andy, make money. Literally for that reason. All my life I had a story that I was supposed to be poor. I'm supposed to be a loser. I'm never supposed to make money. I can never contribute anything of value to the world, and therefore I am of no value to the world. And so part of me getting to this point where, yeah, we now can charge $11,000 for a coaching client with payment plans and all that shit. But like, we can charge that and people say, yes, people say, thank you for that. That like is some deep shit for me. It's not just making money. If I really wanted to make money, I could go rob a fucking bank. I could sell some unscrupulous thing. I could use a bunch of like fear of missing out on you guys and emotionally manipulate you and like get you. Like, it's not fucking hard. Like, I'll try and say this in a nice way. I have read way more books on psychology and all of that stuff than most of you listening. I know we have that part of us that's like, I would never fall for manipulation. Yeah, you fucking would. I would too. Propaganda, manipulation, all of that shit. Like, we're all pretty fucking susceptible to it. I am too. I've bought shit that I didn't want to buy, and then afterwards, a week later, I'm like, why the fuck did I buy that? Because they used manipulation on me. It's not that hard. And so if I really wanted to make a bunch of money, I'd just use a shitload of manipulation on all of you. And I used to in the past. And yeah, it would make money, but I didn't feel very fucking good. So if I only cared about money, then fuck, go make money in an unscrupulous way. But I clearly care about deeper shit, don't I? And so same with the lay count stuff. For the first couple of years of my sex life, yeah, all I thought I cared about was just getting laid. It was very fucking unrewarding. It was rewarding in the moment. It's like, wow, I got a hot girl in my bed. I got sex. Wow, it's amazing. I'm so cool. I'm an alpha male. Yay, I got one more notch in my belt. I got one more threesome. But then at some point, it's like, wait, am I just doing this to make the number go up? Or do I care about something deeper? What do I care about? And then I started asking myself, well, I care about inspiring other people. That's part of why I want to go and have a lot of sex, to inspire other people, not just with sex, but like, you can do something if you set your mind to it. I also want to meet a lot of people. I just fucking love people. And I also love fucking people. Up top. I wish you'll high five me for that. That was good. I fucking love people, and I love fucking people. I love sex, and I love the expression of creativity in the bedroom and outside of it. I love intimacy. I love affection. I love just making someone feel good. And sex is a really nice way to do that. It's a really Beautiful way to do that because you get to feel good too. I love teaching people. I love mentoring people. I love connecting with people and getting to know them. And sex is a really nice way to do that because it opens you up. You're in a very vulnerable position. You're both learning to trust each other and open up and be honest about everything. And then you're seeing each other in a moment of like, yeah, I guess vulnerability would be the way to say it. And then you get to talk about it afterwards. You get to talk about life afterwards. You just open up to someone that you've had sex with. I find, I won't say more easily than friends, but it's a nice like speed run. You get to shortcut straight to that moment of trust and vulnerability because you've seen each other naked. You've been inside someone and you've had someone inside of you. And so that is the stuff that I care about. And so when I started realizing that, it was like, oh shit, let me focus on that shit. That's the shit that I was actually seeking from sex. It wasn't just make the number go up, big number go brrr. No, I didn't give a shit about the number going up. I don't give a shit about my bank account going up. Those things are nice, but there are deeper things than just the number going up. Again, if I really cared about the number going up, I would just manipulate people. And plenty of people do choose to do that, don't they? They learn pickup lines, they learn manipulation tactics, they learn sales tactics, all of that kind of shit. And then you just make the number go up. And then at some point you realize, fuck, this isn't really making me happy. The vast majority of people get to that point. Sometimes they take a little longer than others, but they become like a philanthropist, like the billionaire philanthropist who finally realized, shit, the number going up even further doesn't make me happy. And yet not everyone realizes that. Some people just want infinite money, infinite power, infinite using other people. Yes. And obviously not everyone who makes money is using other people, but I think you all get the subtleties and the point that I'm making. Same with dating. Some people just go, I'm going to get as many ladies as I can. I'll say whatever I need to say. I'll just be that guy that says anything to get in a woman's pants. And I'll figure out psychology and I'll learn all of it. And I'll be way smarter, maybe not smarter, but like way more versed in psychology than any of the women that I'm talking to. And so, of course, I can manipulate them and get them to do what I want. It's fucking easy. When you've read 10,000 books on psychology, yeah, it's fucking easy. And you've done it a bunch of times and gotten a lot of women into bed. You know the right thing to say, or the thing to say to get her into bed. Might not be the right thing, but that's an arbitrary positionality. But yeah, it doesn't necessarily satisfy you. That was the point of this original video. This guy, Roosh V, who said he'd slept with 2,000 or 3,000, some crazy number of women, and got to a point where he's like, this isn't satisfying me. Maybe it never did. Maybe I had a sex addiction. Maybe I was just chasing a number, making it go up, desperately trying to fill the fucking void in my heart. Do you know what? I think I am going to look elsewhere. And then he became super religious and found Jesus and all of that. And I don't know anything about that, so I don't know if he's happy, blah, blah, blah. But yeah, so Mr. Expert Cheek Clapper, really appreciate this. I appreciate you opening up. This was a cool discussion, my brother. And 3, yeah, it's funny that we'll look at the number. And there are so many people that would judge you for having a number of 3. You've slept with 3 people. They'd be like, that's not enough. This guy's a pussy. Or they would do the opposite and be like, you did 3 people outside of marriage? Wow, you're a piece of shit. You're a fuckboy. You're supposed to wait till marriage. Like, people will judge you either way. And it also misses most of the context. Like, here are the questions that I would ask you. And you don't have to answer these. Like, I don't care. But my first question would be, did you connect with all 3 of those people? How was it? Did they have fun? What did they enjoy about? What did you enjoy about? How many times did you see them? Did you guys date for a long time or did you just sleep together for one time? Like, if somebody said to me, I've slept with 50 people and they were all one night stands, I'd be like, are you okay? Like, are you okay? Like, you haven't, that would be like saying, I made 50 friends and I hung out with all of them once and I never saw a single friend ever again. You'd be like, are you hiding from connection? Are you scared of connection? Is everything okay? Like, are you sure? I'm not judging, but like, is this what you want? Do you want to have 50 one-night stands? And so, do you see how the number isn't relevant? And I would care, like me, Andy, this is just my own personal things that I care about. If somebody said to me, I've slept with 20 women, I'd be like, great, did they all have fun? And then if the answer was like, I don't know, I'd be like, wouldn't that be the first thing that you know, like whether or not the other person had fun? What was the point of sleeping with people if one of you was happy but the other one wasn't? And we don't know if they were happy or not, but that's the point. You don't know if they were happy or not. I would focus more on the connection. Again, this is just my own personal things that I care about. You might not care about that, but I don't know why you'd be watching my channel if you only cared about getting laid and you didn't give a shit if the other person had fun. My content probably isn't for you. Part of the mindset that we have here is the Mother Teresa quote, spread love wherever you go. Let nobody come to you without leaving a little better off. That's kind of the mindset we have here. Everyone that comes to us, we want to leave them just a little bit better off. So Yeah, the number is kind of arbitrary. Something else to think about is when people focus on body count as if that matters, they're missing the fact that you can have multiple sexual experiences with the same person. Like, let's say you slept with 3 people, but they were long term relationships. And let's say you slept with those 3 people over a period of like 8 fucking years. And over those 8 years, you had sex literally every day of those 8 years. It's like that's like 2,400 times you had sex. Like, that's a lot of sex. And let's say you explored kink with them and they fucking did weird things like licked your butthole and all sorts of other kinky shit. And you had all these beautiful, crazy experiences with them and you built intimacy and vulnerability with them and you really connected and you figured out relationships and you learned a lot and you evolved as yourself, and they evolved as themselves. And maybe you both came together and improved each other's lives in a million different ways. Maybe you even went so far as to do what Emmy and I do, my girlfriend and I do, and you had accountability check-ins every week. And you pushed each other with your goals and you said, "Hey, honey, how can I facilitate your greatness?" And she said, "Hey, honey, how can I facilitate yours?" And you literally evolved together. And you became better people from meeting each other. Would that not be worth its weight in gold? Isn't that what we're all sort of seeking? To be with people that make us better and we make them better? Like, isn't that the whole point? And so then you might look at the little number, like someone might come up to you and be like, "Hey, bro, how many people have you slept with?" And you're like, 3, but that's not the full story. And they're like, "Ha, bro, you're a beta male. You've only slept with 3 people." And you're like, "Bro, I had sex like 2,400 times. How many times have you had sex?" And he's like, "Bro, my body count is 15. And you're like, "Yeah, how many times have you done this sexual act with a woman?" "I don't know, bro, like 30. So I have had sex 2,400 times and built connections and intimacy and relationships and learned about myself and grown as a human being. And they grew as human beings as well. And we did all these beautiful things together and we evolved and we're glad that we met each other. And you're saying that's worth less than your 30 times you had sex." And he's like, "Yeah, bro, but it was with 15 different women, bro. Haha, go fuck yourself, bro. You're a beta male. I did it with 15. You've only done it with 3. Do you see how this is just like arbitrary positionality? It's just random things that we care about, arbitrary things that we care about. And we're saying one number is better than the other, but it's missing so much context. The number 3, yeah, that might be less than the number 10. But what if you had sex 2,000 times with those 3 women? That's bigger than some guy who just went out and had a bunch of one-night stands. He's essentially a fucking virgin. If you go out and have sex with 3 women 3 times each, or maybe let's be generous, if you go out and have sex with 3 women 5 times each, you've had sex 15 times. But if you had one partner that you were monogamous with and you dated her for, like, you'd already been dating for 10 years, then Jesus Christ, you are way more sexually experienced. You've done way more stuff. You've probably done more kinky stuff. You probably know more about sex than the guy who went and had sex with 3 different women. And so the numbers don't tell the full story. They're such a, like, it's such an adorable, it's something you eventually move past, but it's something that you care about at the start. And it's really cute to care about it. It's similar to guys that will say, "I met this girl and she's a 7. That's just another arbitrary number. It also doesn't tell the full story. This person's a 7 out of 10. In what? Well, in terms of attractiveness, says you. That's your opinion. That's like saying choc chip ice cream is a 7 out of 10. And then if someone comes along and they go, "I fucking hate choc chip ice cream," it's a 0. And then we argue and debate over it. So these are all just arbitrary positionalities. They're just a line in the sand that we draw and we say, this thing is good, this thing is bad. That woman is a 7. No, that woman over there is a 6. 3 sexual partners is not enough. 10 is a good number. It's just fucking arbitrary, and we're just telling stories. Like I talked about in my Play to Win video course, everything is just a story, and that's what we humans do. We tell a story. And so one person might say your body count of 3 is bad. Someone else might say your body count of 3 is good. Someone else might say it's not enough. Someone else will say it's too much. Someone else will say, "Yeah, but what's the greater context? How many times did you sleep with each 3 of those women?" "Well, I slept with them fucking 500 times each." "Whoa, you've had a lot of sex. You're an expert." Or someone else might be like, "No, it doesn't count. It was still only 3. Doesn't matter if you have sex with someone for like 20 years straight and you explore every fucking kink under the sun. You may as well be a virgin because you've only been with one person." So it's all fucking arbitrary. I know you get all of that, expert cheek clapper. And once again, my brother, I appreciate your great comments. You often leave very interesting comments that make me think a lot and prompt some really cool discussions. So I appreciate you, my brother. Let's do one more comment because this is quite an easy one, and then we will finish up. So Carrot Potato 0, what a fucking username. It says, I use something that I have learned with you today. I very randomly end up going on a date with a girl, and there was a moment when we were standing without advancing. I just asked her straight up if she wants to kiss, and she said yes. I wouldn't be able to do this without your help so far. Thank you, Andy. And all that you say here, so he's talking about in a video that I did where I said, don't just watch my content, go out and actually take action. He said, all that you say in this video here is totally true. I myself am into this cycle. Thanks once more for help. Yeah, it can be so easy to like watch a ton of content, and content can be helpful. Like obviously I've read thousands of books, I've watched thousands, tens of thousands, 100,000, I don't know, YouTube videos and podcasts. Obviously, like that stuff can motivate you, it can inspire you, it can teach you, like all of that content is beautiful. But all the content in the world won't really do anything if you don't take a little baby step towards the person that you want to be. So that was the point of this video. So let's celebrate this guy's win. I think more than anything, the fact that you were standing there on a date and you didn't know what to do. You're like, how do I kiss her? What's the smooth way to kiss her? Which is what most guys ask me. How do I be James Bond? How do I be this Casanova? It's like, bro, just use your words. If you want something, just ask. Like literally the universe will give you what you want. Not every woman will say yes to you, obviously. But if you just go and ask enough women, can I kiss you? Eventually one of them will say yes. And she will be really into it. And you'll be like, holy shit, I can't believe I can just ask for what I want. If you want people to give you money, like if I, Andy, want people to give you money, I just say, would you like to give me money? And eventually someone's like, yes. Like I'll say that to all of you right now. Would you like to give me money? I would really appreciate that. You would be helping me pay the bills. I would obviously coach the shit out of you. I would change your life. I would go all in with you. I would pour my heart and soul into helping you be the man or the woman that you want to be. Would you like to pay me money for that? I would really love it. There's a link in the description below to the $200 coaching calls I offer. We can sit down for a couple of hours and talk about anything you want to talk about. Or I have a big hardcore coaching program with payment plans. All of that's below. See, that was me just asking for what I want. Some of you will say yes. One of you might even, and if you do this, tell me, because that'd be funny as hell. You might even hear me just say that and go like, yeah, you know what? It's time. I've procrastinated doing coaching for so long. Fuck it, Andy. You asked me if I wanted to. I would like to. Tell me if this video right now inspired you. But some video that I would have said, would you like to do coaching? You would eventually say yes. And so you can just ask for what you want. When you're standing there on a date wanting to kiss a girl, why not just say, I want to kiss you? Like it's that fucking simple. That's all I ever do on dates. I'm just like, yo, you're so pretty. Can I kiss you? And 99% of the time they say yes. That's because I screen very hard for people that are already into me and already into Imogen. You know, we date women together. I've screened really hard to find the people that are really excited to see us. And I screen out anyone who isn't super excited, super passionate, and all of that. Because I want to date people that are very excited to be with me and with Imi. And they probably want to be with people that are excited. I'm very excited to date people as well. So anyway, but yes, that's all I ever do on a date. I'm just like, yo, you're so pretty. Can I kiss you? And they say yes. And then I kiss them. Then I say, would you like to kiss Imi? And they always say yes. It would be very funny if they said, I'd like to kiss just you, Andy, but not your pretty girlfriend. So they kiss her. Boom, that's it. And then when it's time, after the first date, we like to save sex for the second date. I've talked about that in content before. Just gives us a better chance to screen and build a connection and all of that. On the second day, I'll just send a message and be like, hey, we had fun. It was a blast seeing you. You're a great kisser. You're so adorable. We think you're pretty. Do you want to come over and we can try some of that BDSM stuff we talked about? We'll have that threesome. We can explore and yeah, do you want to do that? And they go, yeah, that sounds great. So I just ask for what I want. I'm very upfront with everything. I just say everything that I want. And if someone doesn't want that, then I'm like, cool, beautiful. What would you like? And maybe they want something similar to what I said and we can do a little bit of figuring it out and solving the problem and making it happen. Or maybe they want something that's completely different from what I want. And I say, brilliant. It sounds like you know what you want. I think that's amazing. Go out and find it. There's plenty of people out there that want what you want. You'll have no trouble finding it because you're a great human being. Just go out there and look for it. And they go, wow, thank you. That's so nice of you. Thank you. So yeah, you can just literally ask for what you want. But absolute baller. Like you're an absolute legend. I know the fear that can come from being that honest. You know, you think, but I'm supposed to be smooth. I can't just tell a girl that I want to kiss her. I can't just ask. Isn't asking someone weak? Doesn't it mean I'm not a man? Doesn't it mean I'm a pussy? No, it just means you're a fucking human being who wants something. And what you find, I find this time and time again with my coaching clients. Someone said this in the coaching group like fucking 3 days ago. When they're honest on a date and they just say to a woman, you're really pretty. I don't have a smooth pickup line, but can I kiss you? And the girl's like, yes. Do you know what these women or what women say time and time again? when the guy is so fucking nervous and he doesn't know what he's doing, but he just asks, "Can I kiss you?" Or "Would you like to go out with me?" Or "Can I get your phone number?" The girls every single freaking time say, "You're so confident. You're just so confident. Wow, I can't believe how confident you are." And he's like, "I'm not fucking confident. I told you I'm nervous." And she's like, "Yeah, but you just asked for what you wanted." And he's like, "But isn't that weak? Doesn't a real man just take it?" And she's like, "No, that's weird. What if I don't want you to kiss me? You just go to grab me and kiss me. I don't want that. That's weird. You're so confident that you actually ask, and you risk me thinking that you're weak for asking. You're risking rejection by asking. You don't have some smooth pickup line because it's almost like you don't need one. You must be so confident." So many of my clients, we have a guy in the coaching group right now. I'll probably get him on the channel in the next couple of weeks if he wants to do an interview. He's already said he does, but he's finished up his coaching. And he had a woman. He's had two women now, actually, who both said, "You're so confident, you must be a player." And to the second woman that he dated and they ended up having sex, she didn't believe him that he's not a player. And she just kept saying, "You know all the right things to say." And he's like, "I'm not saying any right thing. I literally just said, 'I'm nervous. Can I please kiss you?' Or 'I'm nervous. I don't really know what I'm doing. Would you like to go on a date with me?" And she kept saying, "No, no, no. You come across as so confident because you asked for what you want. That comes across as confident." And he's like, "I am the least confident person in the world." And he said, "I'll be honest with you. I've been honest with you from the start, but I haven't had sex in 6 years or 7 years or whatever it was. This guy hadn't had sex in like 7 fucking years." And he's like, "I'm the least confident person ever. And before that, I'd only slept with like, I think he slept with like 2 or 3 people." He's like, "I've barely slept with anyone and not for 6 years. I don't know what I'm doing. I've been honest with you about that. I told you that from the start. I told you I was nervous before our first date." And she's like, "Nah, you're way too confident. You come across as a player. You're definitely just a player." And they ended up hooking up and having sex. But yeah, it was like a struggle for him to convince her of the truth that he's fucking nervous because he looks so confident by saying, "You're so pretty. Can I kiss you?" And I just taught him the same as I taught all of you. Just be autistically honest. Learn a little bit from people with autism. I probably have some autism inside me. Just be fucking honest. Whatever you want, just say that. If the other person wants it, beautiful. Build something beautiful together, or have a great night of sex, or whatever you're looking for. If they don't want what you want, then see if maybe you want something similar to each other and you can do a little bit of figuring that out. Or if they really don't want what you want, then move on and be happy for them and be happy for yourself because you found one more person who doesn't want what you want, which gets you closer to the next person who does want what you want. I'm struggling to talk. So, great comment, my man. I am super happy for you. Amazing job being brave. It can be a little bit scary to start being honest, but yeah, honesty is just a skill that you level up by practicing. It's like we're in a video game and there is a stat, like you're in an RPG game and there's a stat called honesty, and you're just grinding experience to build that stat up and level your character up. You're working on your honesty over time, but you're doing a good job, my man. You're an absolute warrior. Get out there and keep taking action. So once again, you are all incredibly brave. You're all doing a damn fine job of this thing we call life. We were put here on this earth without much of an instruction manual, with no one really telling us what the fuck this is. And you're all being incredibly brave, incredibly honest, incredibly open, incredibly vulnerable. And you're working on yourself. You're giving yourself a bit of self-love. You're giving other people a bit of love around you. That's really remarkable. I'm inspired by all of you. I really genuinely mean that. A lot of you do incredibly brave things, which for me are now really fucking easy. Like saying to a girl, "Can I kiss you?" is just like, that's like me saying, "Would you like a glass of water?" Like literally, it's just like, "Hey, you're pretty. Can I kiss you?" And she's going to say yes or she's going to say no. I don't really mind which one it is. But I remember how fucking terrified I was to start being honest. I was so terrified. It took me probably 3 years, literally 3 years of practicing it with everyone I met all the time to get somewhat decent at honesty. I'm not perfect with it, but I'm decent now. And so when I see you guys and girls taking those first baby steps and saying, "Can I kiss you?" and you're fucking terrified, or you walk up to some girl that you don't know, she's sitting on a bench, and you sit down, your heart is like going fucking boom, boom, boom. I'm going to die. Oh my God, this anxiety is going to kill me. You walk up and you sit down, you're like, "Oh my God, I'm going to have a panic attack. I can't believe I'm doing this. What the fuck is wrong with me? Why am I doing this?" And you're like, "Excuse me." And she looks up at you with those beautiful eyes of hers, and your heart is just fucking dying. And you're like, she's a goddess. She's literally the most beautiful woman in the world. Oh my God, how am I going to do this? And you're like, "You're pretty. You're pretty. I wanted to say hi. Fuck. I'm Andy." You put your little hand out, you shake her hand. She's like, "Oh my God, thank you so much." And you're like, "Wait, what?" She said, "Thank you." Fuck. What am I doing? I don't know what I'm doing. And you're having a fucking panic attack. I am so utterly inspired by that because I remember how that felt for me. I still remember how much I was shaking. Like literally my hands was like this. And I was sweating. I forgot my name with one girl that I approached. I'm not even fucking kidding. I would keep repeating with every, like this happened for the first, I don't know, 20 girls that I talked to. I would keep repeating in my head, don't throw up, don't throw up. I felt so physically sick and nauseous. Literally, I felt like I was going to throw up. And I was like, don't throw up. And then my mind would start thinking of vomiting, projectile vomiting or something like something out of a horror film or something all over this poor innocent woman. I was so fucking terrified. And I remember all of that. I remember how it felt to start a business. It was fucking terrifying. It took me probably 3 years to stop being scared of money, stop being scared of all of you. Stop being scared of doing something bad or doing a shitty video or not being interesting or having no one watch the video or what if I don't get any subscribers, or the first couple of times I did a live stream, I was so terrified that no one would come. I said that in the first fucking live stream I ever did. I was so terrified that no one would show up. That's why I made like 10 announcements every day leading up to it, basically saying, please fucking come. I could have been a little bit more honest about that, but whatever, I was doing my best. But I was really terrified and I just wanted someone to come. I think like 3 people came or 5 people came or something. I was like, oh my God, thank God. But I sat there in silence, or I talked a little bit to fill in the dead air, but no one came for the first like 5 minutes. I was like shitting my pants. I was like, what the fuck? I guess I can just delete this video once it's uploaded, once the live stream's over. But I was like really scared. I was utterly scared, to be honest and open and vulnerable with Emmy. I'd been in 2 relationships that didn't really work out the way that I had hoped they would, and I had gone through a lot of pain and all of that. I was really fucking scared to be vulnerable with Emmy, and then really fucking scared to be vulnerable with Bronwyn, the girl that we've been dating for 2 years together. So I've been really scared to do all the stuff that I've done, and if you're scared too, congratulations, that makes you human. As I said to the first guy in this video today, who was feeling a bit insecure and a bit miserable, that feeling doesn't have to be a bad thing. Feeling fear, feeling doubt doesn't have to be a bad thing. You can use it for good. You can use it to improve. You can use it as fuel for the fire. So you're all doing a fabulous fucking job. I'm really constantly inspired by the action you take. It's so much, guys, it's so much easier for me. I'm in a funny position where I'm empathizing with all of you because I can remember how it felt. And I coach people all the time. I see how you guys suffer and what you're going through. But it's a funny position because the shit is really easy for me. Like, and I'm not saying that as a brag. I struggle with a lot of things. Let's be very fucking clear. But some of the stuff that you guys and girls ask me about, like, how do I tell a girl I like her? It's like, you just like, hey, I like you. Like, it's so fucking easy once you've done the thing a lot of times. But I'm in a funny position where, like, this is part of a coach or a therapist, right? I put myself in your shoes and I'm like, all right, go back in time, Andy. Remember how you first felt when you were going through this thing. This person is struggling to just tell a girl that they like her or tell a guy that they like him. How did you feel when you were back there? And then I go through and I think about it. I'm like, oh, fucking hell. Actually, this person is braver than me. And that's the God's honest truth. Most of you are actually braver than I was at the start, like leagues above where I was. Way more brave than I was. I say this to my coaching clients all the time. I'm like, yo, you guys and girls are taking way more action than I took when I was at your stage, like at the level you're at. You guys and girls are way more courageous. Like, holy shit, I had weeks at a time where I would just stay inside and not leave the house because I was scared to go outside and talk to women. I had so many days where I would just look at porn for 8 hours, drink alcohol, self-medicate, avoid the business, not do any content because I was fucking terrified. You all are brave as hell, and that applies to most of you or all of you listening. You're all incredibly fucking brave. If you're even just taking one baby step, you're an absolute warrior, and all that's left is to just keep showing up every day, give yourself that permission to suck, and just keep going. So you're all doing a good job. Keep on fucking being you. Obviously, if you want any more help with that, you know where to find the coaching. It's down below. We have payment plans. I'm happy to jump on a free call with you and discuss anything. I would really like it if you would give me money. That would be amazing. And then I get to help you in return. That's me asking for what I wanted. Like I said before, I would be really happy if you signed up for the coaching. You'd genuinely be making my little heart, this little heart would beat a little bit faster. I'd be super excited. I get to coach someone. I love coaching people. I get money to pay the bills. I love money to pay the bills. You would be doing me a beautiful favor, and then I would be doing you a beautiful favor. We would have a nice little reciprocal gratitude relationship. If that sounds good to you, link down below. As always, ladies and gentlemen, go out there, crush those goals, and keep being you. You're all incredibly brave, and I'm very, very, very inspired by you.